Well, hello there. How are you guys all doing? I hope you are keeping well. And actually, hold on. That thing can go now. Getting so used to wearing these things that I keep forgetting to take them off. How is everyone doing? How is your lockdown treating you? And also, what the hell is happening in the world at the moment? I mean, it's insane. I haven't been producing content for this because I've been busy with a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So this is my first video in a while. It's great to have you guys back. Today we're playing with this. This is the newly launched Canon EOS 850D. Now this is an entry-level camera. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to pop out and just basically shoot whatever I see. I've got no plan in mind. I'm going to stick a whole bunch of different lenses on it, and I'm going to use it like I would my 5D Mark IV, same sort of settings as that. And let's see how good this little entry-level camera is. Is it worth the money? And is it something that you should consider buying? Okay, so what I've decided to do is pretty much all I can do at the moment. I'm heading out to this local park over here where a lot of the mountain bikers come and hang out and do jumps and those kind of things. And let's see how the tracking and the focusing and everything works on this 850D, because I think that's a nice test, because a lot of times what people are afraid of when they're buying entry-level and bottom-end cameras is that they're not going to be able to cope with those sorts of tracking and focusing features that all the big fancy cameras have. So let's have a bash at it. We'll see. We've got some mountain bikers coming down here. They're going to be jumping, and let's see if this little 850D can handle it. Okay, first batch of them coming through now. Let's see what this thing is capable of. Okay, so next step, I'm going to stick a wide lens on this and let's see if we can get some cool little backlights or silhouettes or something like that over the jumps and see how it handles that. Okay, so first impressions. This seems to be a very, very capable little camera. It seems to be holding focus on all three of the shots I get in the burst. Not 100% sure how sharp it is just yet. We'll have to wait until we get onto a computer and check that out. So what we're going to do now is be back to the long lens. The guys are going to be coming over here, jumping over this. I want to try and nail them so that they are basically up in the sky over there. And yeah, pretty impressed. There's no one around at the moment, so I can take this stupid mask off. Yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed. I think that whole set, it missed 3 of the focus locks completely. It was just gone. So I'm going to try going on to single point focus now, see if that makes any difference. But otherwise, it is pretty much nailing it. I'm shooting on a flat profile, so I can kind of play around with editing on the images later. So I think next I'm going to wander down to our local dam, go see if there's any paddlers out there, shoot some stuff there, and then maybe just look at doing some portraits for you guys. There's not much more when you're dealing with these basic cameras. I don't want to go into video today or anything like that. I'll shoot the end of this video with this camera using the video on that, just so you get a basic idea of the video quality. Almost got run over there. And yeah, that's about it. Right, let's go find some paddlers. Okay, so I think that is done with the outside world for now on this camera. I'm going to head back to the studio now and maybe just shoot a couple of portraits of my daughter around the house, just to give you a camera will perform when we're, you know, got kids running around or jumping around on their skateboards, those sorts of things, and let's see how it copes with that, because I think that's where this camera is going to fit in, is that completely bottom end entry level camera. Most probably the first digital DSLR style camera that someone will buy when they're moving away from a phone and just upping their photography game into an interchangeable lens camera. Let's fix that. Man, it's bright out here today. Anyway, yep, so heading home, shoot some portraits, and then we'll sit down in the studio and I will give you my final thoughts on this camera. Right, so at $750, there isn't much you can actually buy in life, because $750 really is not a lot of money. But you can get this Canon EOS 850D for $750 right now over on B&H Photo or on Amazon. Now, that is about $100 more than the 800D, which is the last model. Now, the last model has obviously got a lot less features, doesn't have 4K, it's got the Digic 7 processor. So for $100 more, you've got yourself an 850D. But now, if you start looking around while you're on the website, you'll notice that you can already pick up an EOS 90D, which I did a review on. You can click the little I button up there somewhere, which is a phenomenal camera. That you can pick up for $1,150 at the moment, and that is a hell of a camera for not so much money. But if your budget is below the $1,000 mark, then you've got to, you know, come back and look at the 850D. That, see, there's always a spanner in the works, because you can pick up one of these. Now, this is the EOS RP, the mirrorless camera. This you can pick up for around $899. So that starts making life a little bit harder when you're looking at buying your first entry-level camera. Do you want to go DSLR? Do you want to go mirrorless? And which way do you go? So do investigations. Oh, if you want to watch my EOS RP video, there's a review link up here somewhere as well. You can go watch that video and you can make an informed decision after you finish watching this video. Back to my thoughts on the 850D. Let's jump into some of the specs quickly, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end. So it is a 24.1 megapixel sensor with a Digic 8 processor. It takes EF and EFS lenses, and it's a crop sensor. So don't forget that it's a crop sensor camera. So you've got a 1.6 multiplier on the focal length when you stick a lens on there. So that's something you need to be cognizant of when you are buying your camera, because if you're buying body alone just to mount the lenses you've got already, you can, you know, just work it out for yourself. If you're buying body with lenses, remember to add that 1.6 multiplier into it, because your 50mm now becomes an 80mm. And those are the sorts of things you need to look at when you're buying the camera, so that you make sure you get the right focal length for what you want to do. I've got a couple of more points written down here just so that I, you know, don't forget them. I'm getting old, so I tend to forget things. It is optically image stabilization, which is the standard across these cameras, and that covers about 80% of the frame. It's got 45 cross-type AF points, and that's really good for a camera in this price point. 3-inch vari-angle touchscreen. Now, I am a huge fan of Canon's touchscreens and their vari-angle touchscreens. I love it for the video side. It is most probably one of the best tools you can have on a camera. It's something I really wish my 5D Mark IV had. I would love to have that on my 5D Mark IV, but then I've got an EOS R, and of course we've got the R5 and the R6 coming. Those reviews coming up very, very soon. I'm itching to get my hands on that R5 and that R6, but I can't tell you exactly when, but I can tell you that I will have those cameras very soon to review. Back to the video on this 850D. At the moment, I'm currently shooting on it. So this is video coming out of the 850D, 1080 at 25 frames per second. I'm shooting at, well, I can't even see that, I'm going blind. At a 50th, and I'm shooting at about 4.5. So this is the quality you could expect out of the 850D. I'm not going hugely into the video specs in this video. It does shoot 4K, but that has got an insane crop, which basically would have you pretty much in here on me, so I'm not shooting in 4K at the moment. 4K 1080, it does 720 as well, but you know, who the hell shoots 720? One thing it does do for you social media guys who are shooting vertical video, it does shoot vertical video. So if you're producing stuff straight for Instagram story or on Facebook stories or on, what's that stupid dancing app? You know which one I'm talking about. If you're producing content for that, this camera will let you shoot vertical, which means you don't have to rely on your phone and you can do all the fancy shit that a real camera does. What else did I want to talk about? Where are my notes? I've lost my place. Okay, cool. It has got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and that's one thing I really do love about Canon is their Wi-Fi and their Bluetooth and their app work so well. It's the best that I've seen across all the cameras I've played with. They have the best app when it comes to transferring images or using it as a live view monitor. Fantastic. Outputs via HDMI. You can get clean HDMI out of this, which means you can output for live streaming or you can output via onto a monitor for a clean HDMI out there. And then of course it's got a 3.5 millimeter audio jack, which is really important because you want to be able to get good audio when you're out there shooting. So being able to stick an external mic into this little $750 camera is a great idea. Although I must say the audio straight out of this camera, hold on a second, let's turn the Rode mic off. Okay, so this is audio directly out of the camera. No adjustments, no filters, no changes. This is what the camera sounds like on its own. I think it's pretty damn good. Okay, back to our Rode mic because, you know, it's just a juicy mic and I like it. It runs an LPE 17 battery. Now, I know a lot of people moan about the LPE 17 and that it's not a big enough battery, but then, you know, the camera would be bigger. So the whole point of these cameras is to make them kind of small for entry-level users. LPE 17 is a great battery. I've got about 1,100 to 1,200 shots off this LPE 17 on this camera, and I am now recording this video on it as well. And I'm still at about 30% battery power left. That, my friends, is pretty damn good. Besides the fact that they're really cheap and they're really small. So to buy an extra LPE 17, stick it in your pocket while you're shooting, you are good for a whole day of shooting photos and video. And that's about it, guys. My final thoughts, should you buy the 850? Should you buy the 800? Should you look at buying the EOS RP? Those will all come down to your budget. But if you have $750 to spend, if you have $750 to spend, then I think this is a great entry-level camera, especially if you're moving across from, you know, one of these overpriced cell phones and you're looking at creating serious content. You're moving across into your first interchangeable lens camera, then this, my friends, is a great camera to buy. I would love to hear from you guys. Do any of you own the 850 already? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Just on the specs, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Drop some comments down below and let's open up a discussion around this camera. And you are welcome to go watch all of my other videos as well. Leave me some comments and give me some feedback. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you, yes, you, in the next video. Bye.